The year is 2025. A chill has settled over the usually amicable border between the United States and Canada. But this isn't the chill of winter. It's a deeper, more pervasive cold. This is the icy grip of an escalating trade war, and it's hitting Alaska, the last frontier, the hardest. The once bustling trade routes are now eerily silent. Once a symbol of American pioneering spirit, Alaska now finds itself a pawn in a high-stakes game of economic brinkmanship. The state's rugged beauty stands in stark contrast to the tense political climate. The goods don't flow as freely as they used to. The lifeline of commerce has been severed, leaving communities on both sides of the border in a state of uncertainty. Trucks stand idle, their cargo a testament to the breakdown in relations between two of the world's closest allies. The once busy border crossings are now scenes of inactivity and frustration. This is a story about tariffs, tolls, and the true cost of economic warfare. It's a tale of how political decisions ripple through the lives of everyday people, turning a once warm relationship into a frozen standoff. As the frost deepens, so does the uncertainty. The future of this frozen border remains as unpredictable as the weather, leaving many to wonder when or if the thaw will come. To understand this frosty standoff, we need to rewind the clock. Let's take a journey back in time to see how it all began. Cast your mind back to the heady, tweet-filled days of the Trump administration. It was a time of bold declarations and controversial decisions. Remember those tariffs on steel and aluminum? The ones slapped on Canadian imports with the justification of national security? They were meant to protect American industries, but ended up causing a ripple effect. Yeah, those didn't go down well in Ottawa. The Canadian government was quick to voice its displeasure, seeing the tariffs as an unjust attack on their economy. Canada, known for its politeness and moose, doesn't take kindly to being called a national security threat. The idea that they posed any danger to the US was met with incredulity and frustration, especially by a country that shares the world's longest undefended border. The US and Canada have a history of cooperation and mutual respect, making the tariffs even more perplexing. Retaliation was swift, targeting key American exports with retaliatory tariffs. Canada hit back by imposing tariffs on a range of American goods, from agricultural products to manufactured items. A tit-for-tat trade spat was born. The back-and-forth measures strained the economic relationship between the two nations, leading to increased costs for businesses and consumers alike. Fast forward to 2025. The tariffs remain. The resentment lingers. Despite changes in administration and attempts at negotiation, the tariffs have become a sticking point in US-Canada relations. And now, Canada has a new weapon in its arsenal: tolls. In an effort to recoup losses and exert pressure, Canada has introduced tolls on certain goods crossing the border, adding another layer to the ongoing trade tensions. Canada's weapon of choice? A strategic economic move, a hefty toll on all US trucks crossing the border into British Columbia. Remember, the only way to drive to Alaska is through Canada. This isn't just a symbolic jab, it's a calculated move. It's a direct hit to the jugular of Alaska's supply chain. Everything from groceries to construction materials flows through those border crossings. And with each passing truck, the price tag for doing business in Alaska skyrockets. The American trucking industry is fuming. Alaska's businesses are panicking. And in Washington, politicians are engaging in their favorite pastime, pointing fingers and assigning blame. Alaska, an economy adrift. Imagine a grocery store with empty shelves. Imagine construction projects stalled for want of materials. Imagine the price of gasoline soaring as fuel deliveries dwindle. This is the reality unfolding in Alaska. The state's economy, heavily reliant on trade with the lower 48, is reeling. The people of Alaska are caught in the crossfire. They're facing rising costs, dwindling supplies, and a growing sense of isolation. Politicians, of course, offer the usual platitudes and promises. But for the average Alaskan, the situation is dire. This isn't just about economics, it's about their way of life. North strong and divided? The tolls have driven a wedge between Canadians and Americans living in border communities. These are people who, for generations, have shared schools, businesses, and even families. Now, they find themselves on opposite sides of a trade war. their lives disrupted by political machinations far away. Some Canadians argue that the tolls are a necessary evil, a way to pressure the US to back down. Others worry about the long-term consequences for cross-border relations. After all, when you share a continent, being good neighbors isn't just a nicety, it's a necessity. Ripple effects in a globalized world. This isn't just a spat between two North American neighbors. In our interconnected world, economic shockwaves have a nasty habit of going global. The trade war is disrupting supply chains, impacting businesses, and fueling uncertainty in the global market. Other countries, watching from the sidelines, are taking note. If two of the world's most stable democracies can't resolve their trade disputes amicably, what hope is there for the rest of us? The trade war is a stark reminder that in a globalized world, we're all interconnected. What hurts one ultimately hurts us all. Thawing the Cold War. The Cold War may have ended decades ago, but the icy tensions between nations can still be felt today. In this chapter, we explore the delicate dance of diplomacy that aims to thaw these frosty relations. The situation is tense, but not irredeemable. Diplomats from both sides are working tirelessly, navigating a minefield of political sensitivities and historical grievances. The stakes are high, and the room is filled with a palpable sense of urgency. Both sides have a vested interest in resolving the conflict. For the United States, the focus is on supporting Alaska's economy, which has been hit hard by the ongoing tensions. Additionally, there's a pressing need to repair its international reputation, which has suffered due to prolonged disputes. For the US, it's about supporting Alaska's economy and repairing its international reputation. The Alaskan industries, from fishing to oil, are crucial not just for the state, but for the entire nation. A resolution would mean stability and growth. For Canada, it's about protecting its industries and asserting its sovereignty. The Canadian government is keen on ensuring that its natural resources and industries are safeguarded from external pressures. This is not just a matter of economics, but of national pride and identity. The path to resolution requires compromise, dialogue, and a recognition that in the 21st century, economic warfare benefits no one. Both nations must come to the table with open minds and a willingness to find common ground. It's a delicate balance, but one that is essential for lasting peace. The alternative is a continued escalation, one that will leave both countries economically and politically weaker. Prolonged conflict would lead to economic decline, political instability, and social unrest. The people of both nations deserve better. The time for posturing is over. Leaders must rise above their differences and focus on the greater good. The world is watching, and the decisions made in these rooms will have far-reaching consequences. The time for action is now. With the signing of agreements and the shaking of hands, a new chapter can begin. It's a moment of hope, a chance to build a future based on mutual respect and cooperation. The future of US-Canada relations, and perhaps even the global economic order, hangs in the balance. The decisions made today will shape the world of tomorrow. It's a pivotal moment, one that requires courage, vision, and unwavering commitment to peace.